Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Wednesday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch later on demand. Today is December 19th, 2018. And now the news at noon.
Reported by the Durango Herald with a photo of Williams, a 28-year-old man was arrested Monday on suspicion of resisting arrest, assaulting police, and threatening deputies with a knife. La Plata County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Wes Doherty said police were called to the Falls Creek subdivision northwest of Durango after a man was seen walking around the entrance of the neighborhood displaying suspicious behavior. The man, 28-year-old Jake Williams, was yelling that he was God and looking for his father, among other random statements. Doherty said Williams eventually walked into the middle of County Road 205 and stripped his clothing. As soon as officers with the sheriff's office contacted Williams, he became combative and attacked the officers. Deputies shot Williams 3 or 4 times with a taser, Doherty said, but the shots didn't work to subdue him. Williams then pulled a knife and threatened the officers. Then he put the knife to his own throat and started walking away. While being pursued by the officers, Williams traveled to a nearby residence in the Falls Creek subdivision and tried to enter the home. The officers warned the homeowner not to let Williams in, Doherty said. A standoff ensued, and Williams was eventually shot with a less than lethal beanbag round. The officers had to wrestle Williams to the ground and put him in handcuffs. Williams was then taken to Mercy Regional Medical Center for medical attention before being booked in the La Plata County Jail.
From the Durango Herald, courtesy photo CSP, 2 semi-trailers crashed within an hour of each other on Tuesday morning on Wolf Creek Pass, including one carrying a load of potatoes that spilled onto the highway. The first crash occurred about 7:25 a.m. near a hairpin turn on the west side of the pass, said Captain Adrian Driscoll with the Colorado State Patrol in Durango. The driver, Juan Perez of Miami, Florida, was heading west down the pass when he crashed. Perez was taken to Pagosa Springs Medical Center with serious injuries. He was cited with careless driving, no proof of insurance, and a truck driving violation. The road was closed for about 30 minutes while crews moved the wreckage and cleaned the potatoes, which was fairly easy, Driscoll said. The second crash occurred about 8:25 a.m. near mile marker 163, about 2.5 miles east of the earlier crash. The driver, Howard Dial of DeBerry, Texas, received minor injuries and was also taken to Pagosa Springs Medical Center. He was cited with careless driving, Driscoll said. Traffic was not heavily impacted as a result of the second crash. Both crashes were the result of drivers overusing their brakes, he said. Both heated their brakes up and couldn't stop, Driscoll said, so we're encouraging truckers to take it easy over the pass, keep it in low gear, and go really slow.
Reported by the Cortez Journal with a picture by Sean Dolan. A Jeep Grand Cherokee was lodged in a snowbank at the parking lot of Jimmer's Backcountry Barbecue on Tuesday afternoon after the driver apparently veered off Main Street in Cortez and swiped a Chevrolet Suburban parked at the Cork and Bottle liquor store and collided with a filtered water and ice station. At least 4 Cortez Police Department vehicles responded to the barbecue restaurant parking lot about 3:10 p.m. Police Sergeant Brandon Gunderson said the incident is under investigation. He said police believe the female driver was heading westbound on Main Street. Jonathan Rivera, an employee at the adjacent Aqua Car Wash, said he heard the Grand Cherokee collide with the Suburban at the liquor store and continued driving into the snowbank. He said it seemed like she might have hit the gas pedal instead of the brake. After swiping the Suburban and pushing it into the railing at the Cork and Bottle, the Grand Cherokee hit a filtered water and ice station in Jimmer's Backcountry Barbecue lot, turning it about 90 degrees before continuing in a short U-turn pattern from Main Street to come to a rest in a snowbank in the side of the parking lot. The driver was checked out by a Southwest Health System EMS ambulance but was not transported to the hospital. She remained on scene and opened the door of her vehicle, revealing 2 dogs inside. She put the dogs on leads and they exited the vehicle.
Written by High Country News from the Journal, Photo BIA courtesy photo. Over the course of his career at the Department of the Interior, former Bureau of Indian Affairs Director Brian Rice allegedly bullied, physically threatened, and retaliated against employees before resigning from his post last April. But despite being aware of multiple complaints and allegations, BIA officials failed to address Rice's behavior, according to documents obtained by High Country News through Freedom of Information Act requests to the Interior Department's Office of Inspector General. Out of 6 official complaints, 2 were documented and closed without investigation. 4 claims were investigated over a 3-month period, highlighting a failure by officials to spur any action to curb Rice's behavior. Rice could not be reached for comment, and a Bureau of Indian Affairs spokesperson also did not return a request for comment. The incidents highlight the pervasiveness of harassment within the Interior Department and specifically the Bureau of Indian Affairs. A 2017 survey found that 40% of BIA employees experienced some form of harassment in the span of 12 months, the highest percentage of all 15 Interior Department agencies. Employees interviewed, including Interior Department staff members who worked with Rice before and during his role as BIA director, detailed incidents of intimidation, including a hostile encounter in an elevator that left an employee feeling threatened. Rice also reportedly yelled at an employee of Interior's Office of Policy, Management, and Budget, declaring that he wanted to, quote, come up to the PMB hallway and rip the place apart. There have been 4 specific incidents that the Inspector General began investigating in February, an inquiry that continued over the course of several months. However, no immediate action was taken. Of the few Interior Department employees who reported harassment, 40% said no action was ever taken, while 30% said their coworkers responded by treating them worse than before or blaming them for the problem. Just 5% of complaints received an official investigation. The department has finally taken some steps to address harassment. On April 23rd, a day before Rice resigned, an updated policy regarding the prevention and elimination of harassment went into effect. Reports of harassment within the BIA had prompted multiple requests by Democrats for oversight hearings within the House Committee on Natural Resources. Chairman Rob Bishop, Republican of Utah, did not hold any, but now the Democrats have gained control of the House. Incoming Chairman Representative Raul Grijalva, Democrat from Arizona, plans to hold hearings on sexual harassment within the Interior Department, according to House Committee on Natural Resources Communications Director Adam Sarvana. In June, Tara Sweeney, a member of the native village of Barrow and the Inupiat community of the Arctic Slope, became Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs, a position that had been temporarily filled by 3 different people in 2017. In her congressional hearing, the problem of harassment came up multiple times. Sweeney has promised zero tolerance of harassment, a frequent refrain from Secretary Ryan Zinke, who leaves office at the end of the year amidst ongoing ethics investigations, and others within Interior. In November, Sweeney sent an agency-wide email to BIA Education and Indian Affairs employees, re-emphasizing the importance of holding all supervisors and managers accountable for taking action on harassment allegations and promising opportunities for future trainings. Those trainings are part of formal action plans that each Interior Department agency developed in response to the 2017 survey. Indian Affairs would not release the plans to High Country News, instead recommending HCN file another Freedom of Information Act request.
Reported by the Durango Herald, this year has seen a record number of cases of a mysterious paralyzing illness in children, U.S. health officials said Monday. It's still not clear what's causing the kids to lose the ability to move their face, neck, back, arms, or legs. The symptoms tend to occur about a week after the children had a fever and respiratory illness. No one has died from the rare disease this year, but it was blamed for 1 death last year, and it may have caused others in the past. What's more, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention officials say many children have lasting paralysis, and close to half the kids diagnosed with it this year were admitted to hospital intensive care units and hooked up to machines to help them breathe. The condition has been likened to polio, a dreaded paralyzing illness that once struck tens of thousands of U.S. children a year. Those outbreaks ended after a polio vaccine became available in the 1950s. Investigators of the current outbreak have ruled out polio, finding no evidence of that virus in recent cases. The current mystery can be traced to 2012, when 3 cases of limb weakness were seen in California. The first real wave of confirmed illnesses was seen in 2014, when 120 were reported. Another larger wave occurred in 2016, when there were 149 confirmed cases. So far this year, there have been 158 confirmed cases. In 2015 and 2017, the counts were far lower, and it's not clear why. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The national weather map from NOAA says there's increasingly wet and much milder weather on tap for most of the east in the immediate forecast, while you can see that rain covers most of the central plains and the southeast area towards Florida. Meanwhile, a colder air coming in from Canada is providing rain and snow and freezing rain above the Great Lakes and back across Minnesota and North Dakota. Snow at higher elevations across the Rockies and continued high winds and mix of rain and snow across the Pacific Northwest. Regionally, a favorable northwest system is bringing snow to the Elkhead, Park Gore, Elk, Sawatch ranges and flat tops today. The snow continues for the northern and central Colorado mountains through the afternoon, with the heaviest rates occurring in the morning, though. Total snow accumulations of 4 to 8 inches are expected, with locally higher amounts in the Elkhead and Park Mountains. Wind gusts of 30 to 50 miles an hour, mainly above 9,000 feet at this point, will increase the potential for blowing and drifting snow during the day. Reduced visibility and snow-covered roads will be possible on Rabbit Ears and Vail Passes. Snow chances return to the region this weekend and then again towards the holiday. So our 5-day DCTV outlook shows today sunny with a high near 39 degrees, winds 10 to 15 miles an hour coming out of the north-northwest. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 19 degrees with the winds calming down. Then Thursday sunny with a little bit warmer day, a high near 44. Thursday night mostly clear with a low to 24 and breezy. Friday partly sunny with a high near 43. Friday night partly cloudy with a low around 25. Saturday mostly sunny with a high near 42 now. Saturday night partly cloudy with a low to the teens of 19 degrees. Sunday mostly sunny with a high near 38. Sunday night partly cloudy with a low around 20. And then Christmas Eve, Monday partly sunny with a high near 39 degrees. Monday night partly cloudy with a low around 23. And perhaps we may have a whiter Christmas this year, with Tuesday, Christmas Day, currently projecting for a chance of snow showers, partly sunny with a high near 38. And now back to the news.
According to the Cortez Journal, Colorado transportation officials say Los Angeles-based Arrivo has backed out of plans to build a test of a futuristic system that would move passengers and freight at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. The Colorado Sun reports the company proposed last year constructing a test track and facility near the E-470 toll highway east of Denver, saying it would hire up to 200 employees and invest up to $15 million in the project by 2020. E-470 Public Highway Authority spokeswoman Jessica Carson says Arrivo contacted state officials earlier this year, saying it would not proceed with the test site project. Arrivo did not respond to the newspaper's request for comment. The company's proposed Hyperloop system would use magnetic levitation technology to send autonomous pods at high speeds.
From the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management today announced it will hold a meeting of the Southwest Resource Advisory Council, or RAC, demonstrating that partnerships and inclusion are vital to managing sustainable working public lands. The public is welcome to attend the meeting, which will occur on Friday, January 11th, 2019, at the Montrose Public Land Center, 2465 South Townsend Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Planned agenda items at the meeting include training for member participation on the Recreation RAC, recreation fee proposals for Ruby Horse Thief Canyon within the McInnes Canyons National Conservation Area, closeout of the Dominguez Escalante Advisory Council, and a discussion about forming a subcommittee dedicated to partnership-based trail building. The Southwest Resource Advisory Council is made up of valuable partners who are dedicated to providing valuable insight into public lands management, said Stephanie Connolly, BLM Southwest District Manager. We look forward to gaining their perspective during a robust discussion on a variety of topics at the meeting. A half-hour comment period during which the public may address the RAC will begin at 11:30 a.m. Individuals who want to make a statement during the public comment period should register with the BLM by sending an email to sconnolly@blm.gov by Tuesday, January 8th of 2019. Speakers should also submit a written copy of their statement at the meeting for the administrative record. Depending on the number of people wishing to comment and time available, the amount of time for individual oral comments may be limited. Resource advisory councils are critical in assisting the BLM in continuing to be a good neighbor in the communities we serve, they say. The 15-member RAC provides advice and recommendations to the BLM on resource and land management issues within the BLM Southwest District Office. RAC members are citizens who represent public land interests associated with the the Tres Rios Field Office. For more information about the upcoming RAC meeting, please contact Stephanie Connolly, District Manager at sconnolly@blm.gov, or call her at 970-240-5315, or visit the blm.gov online website.
Reported by the Cortez Journal with a photo by Jerry McBride from the Durango Herald, a multi-million-dollar expansion of the fire station on East 32nd Street in Durango is underway. Durango Fire Protection District expects to spend $3.1 million to expand the 1,000 square foot fire station number 3 into a 10,600 square foot building that will house additional staff and vehicles. Northern Durango has seen residential and commercial growth in recent years, driving the need to improve the 200-year-old station. The station's staff is also responding to a rapidly growing number of emergency calls each year, said Fire Chief Hal Doherty. The station staff responds to about 800 emergency calls annually. The expansion was made possible in part by a property tax increase that voters approved last year. Voters across the 325 square mile district approved a tax increase that boosted the district's budget by about $3 million annually. The increase brought the district's 2018 budget up to $13.8 million. The property tax increase was intended to hire staff, buy vehicles, and invest in infrastructure. The new building will allow the fire district to increase the number of staff working each shift from 4 to 5 emergency responders, DFPD Captain Justin Wicks said.
From Representative Scott Tipton of Colorado, Western Slope, District 3. In August of 2015, Coloradans across the southwest part of our state experienced both shock and anger as the Animas River turned yellow, the result of the EPA accidentally releasing millions of gallons of toxic mining waste from the abandoned Gold King mine. The impact of this spill was widespread downstream. The EPA promised to make the individuals, businesses, and communities impacted by the spill whole, and Representative Tipton had continued to work to ensure the agency fulfills this promise. The Gold King mine spill was a catastrophic reminder of the risks that abandoned mines pose across the entire western United States. Across the West, there are more than 50,000 mines that were abandoned before the era of modern regulations, 23,000 of which are located in Colorado. Much like the Gold King mine, many of these abandoned mines were never sufficiently cleaned up, have no current responsible party, and release pollution into surrounding watersheds. Since these abandoned sites were opened long before the enactment of the nation's environmental and land management laws and have no existing responsible party, it has fallen to the federal government to perform remediation. In 1997, the BLM and Forest Service started to remediate the abandoned mines located on federal lands, often in conjunction with state and local municipalities. While progress has been made, a tremendous amount of work remains, and the price tag to remediate every abandoned mine in the U.S. is estimated to be a whopping $50 billion. That's with a B. Federal agencies estimate that $80 to $85 million is already spent annually on mine remediation. So if this process continues as is, it will not just be slow, it will also be an extraordinary burden at the federal, state, and local levels for years to come. If we have learned anything from the Gold King mine spill, he said, it is that the status quo is unacceptable when it comes to cleaning up abandoned mine sites. There are so many Good Samaritan groups, sportsmen and environment groups, as well as mining organizations that have the technical expertise, financial ability, and desire to conduct successful remediation at abandoned mines. Unfortunately, Good Samaritan groups are often discouraged from taking on these important projects because of federal clean water and liability regulations. Abandoned mines threaten water quality and the environment in Colorado. So Senator Cory Gardner and Representative Tipton have been working for several years to develop legislation that would create a Good Samaritan pilot project to remove hurdles that have prevented Good Samaritan groups from taking on abandoned mine remediation projects. So they said they introduced the latest version of the bill, the Good Samaritan Remediation Act of Orphan Hard Rock Mines of 2018, H.R. 7226, on December 6th of this year, 2018. This bill would authorize the EPA to establish a 7-year Good Samaritan pilot program under which the EPA will administer up to 15 Good Samaritan permits to carry out projects to remediate historic mine residue at orphan mine sites.
From the Cortez Journal, with a picture by Jim Mimiaga, the Dolores RE4A School District has received 2 awards from the Colorado Department of Education for student performance on state tests. Superintendent Phil Casper announced that the Dolores High School received the Governor's Distinguished Improvement Award and the High School Academic Growth Award. Casper explained that the Governor's Distinguished Improvement Awards are given to schools that demonstrate exceptional student growth. On the school performance framework, framework that is used by the state to evaluate schools. These schools exceed expectations on the indicator related to longitudinal academic growth and meet or exceed expectations on the indicator related to academic growth gaps. The High School Academic Growth Awards recognize high schools that demonstrate the highest levels of students' academic growth in Colorado. Measures of academic success, English and math testing, as well as for SAT evidence-based reading and writing, and SAT math.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. This Friday, December 21st, at the Dove Creek Sinclair, the Dove Creek Ambulance District will be hosting a Meet Your Local EMS from 3 to 5 p.m. They'll have candy and other giveaways. Check out inside the new DCAD ambulance and ask any questions that you like or participate in their coat drive. And a reminder that this Saturday is the winter solstice. Another location to celebrate or observe the shortest daylight day of the year is in Aztec, New Mexico. Witness the winter solstice at Aztec Ruins National Monument on December 21st or the 22nd, when the Aztec West Great House aligns with the solstice sunset. On either date, arrive by 4:30 p.m. sharp and observe the alignment. Enjoy a ranger presentation before or afterwards, complimentary cookies and hot cocoa provided by the Friends of Aztec Ruins. Or celebrate the shortest day of the year, December 21st, with a special cask beer release at Wild Edge Brewing Collective. Darkest Day is a Belgian dark strong ale conditioned on raisins, dried cherries, vanilla, and cinnamon. Clocking in at 9.3% ABV, this beer will warm both your body and soul, they say. The cask will be served starting at 5 p.m. on Friday, December 21st, and will be served until it's gone. There are only 5 gallons of this beer, so get there early. This is a one-day-only beer release, so don't miss out. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, local posts. And if you want to share your event or information, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
Be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news of our area, and of course, please share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.